Hello, I'm Susie Renshaw, a yoga therapist, and I'm happy to welcome you to this short 10-step yoga sequence to relax the body and calm the mind. You'll be able to do most of this sitting down with the option to stand for the last two postures. So please make sure you have a steady seat, or if you're sitting on the side of the bed, that your feet can rest on the floor. Check that there's enough room around you to comfortably move your arms. You can rest whenever you like and miss out any bits you need to take care of injuries. Please check with your doctor if these exercises are suitable for you. So let's begin by focusing our attention on the breath. Allow the lips to close and the breath to travel freely and easily in and out through the nose. Just observe the breath. And accept the breath. As it is, right now. Welcome every inhale. Allow each exhale to release. Slowing down the breath will help you to become more calm and at ease. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears. Sit upright, but not uptight. Guide the upper body back a little so that the shoulders are over the hips. Align the head on top of the spine so it neither sticks forwards or thrusts up so your chin is lifted. And now draw together the fingers of the right hand to the fingers of the left hand, touching the tips of each thumb, each first finger, middle finger, ring finger and little finger. Pressing lightly all of the fingertips and thumbs. Noticing the space between the hands. And let them rest at the level of your heart. And as you take this position with the hands, you might notice that the breath naturally starts to slow down, become a bit deeper. Perhaps noticing some movement in the abdomen as the belly button draws in as you exhale and softens outwards as you inhale. Begin to consciously smooth the breath. This position we take in with the hands helps the two hemispheres of the brain, the two halves of the brain, to work better together. And creates a relaxation response through your body, bringing greater focus, clarity and calm. Take another 3 breaths here, slow, low, easy breaths. Good, and relax the hands, relax the arms. So we'll begin to move the body now. Bring the hands onto the knees if they'll reach, or somewhere along the thighs. And then start to move into the lower back as if you were pressing the lower back forwards, arching the back. And allow that movement to travel into the middle and the upper back until there's a full arch throughout your spine, from the tail right the way through to the neck, without dropping the head back. Then move the spine in the other direction. So drawing the belly button in will help you to round through the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back. And then continue to move in each direction, drawing on the knees to arch the lower back, middle back, and upper back. And drawing in the belly to round lower back, middle back, upper back. Begin to coordinate that with the breath, inhaling to arch the back forwards, opening the chest, the shoulders. Exhaling to draw in the belly and rounding through the spine. Do 2 more of those in your own time. Good. Bring the fingertips onto the shoulders. We'll take some shoulder circles here. So start to circle the shoulders backwards, opening the chest. And then change direction, circling forwards. And backwards. And forwards. And we'll finish with circling them backwards, easing open the shoulders, strengthening the upper back between the shoulder blades and the spine, creating space across the chest. Good. Just give the arms a little shake out before we move to the next one. Then bring the fingertips back onto the shoulders. If you can, you could bring your elbows up to about shoulder height. Otherwise, they can be a bit lower. That's fine. Sit tall, as if you've got a string coming from the crown of the head, lengthening you easily upwards. Steady seat, steady feet. And then begin a small twisting action, twisting from the upper back, turning the chest in one direction, then the other direction. This is really great for hydrating the discs in your spine. When we don't move, they tend to get compressed and dry out. So this helps to flush them full of fresh fluid, really nourishing for the spine. Good, and take a rest. So we'll come to the wrists and the ankles now. So make a fist with both hands, wrapping the thumb inside, fingers on the outside, and then circle the wrists. Then stretch one leg forwards, keep the other foot on the floor for stability, and circle that ankle, drawing big circles with your toes. And change direction. Just notice how quickly the wrist and the ankle warm up, especially if you're doing this first thing in the morning. It doesn't take much to oil up the joints ready for the day. And then switch to the other foot. You can separate the fingers out now, so you're circling with the fingers open, a slightly different stretch for the wrists as you circle the other ankle. First in one direction, then the other direction. And then you can just change direction whenever you choose. Good. Rest the arms, the hands, rest both feet back on the floor. And we'll move into some neck movements now. I'd like you to imagine that there's a number 8 lying on its side right in front of your face. Begin to trace that shape with your nose. This will create a really nice freeing movement for the neck. You can keep it really small here. The neck benefits from smooth, slow movements. That really helps it to relax and to rebalance, rather than faster or jerky movements. And as you do this, you might want to just notice if there's any tension in your jaw that you can let go of. So there's a little space between the back teeth. Lovely. Then bring the head back to centre. That same alignment as we practiced at the beginning. The head resting over the spine, shoulders over the hips. Keeping that alignment, we'll take it into a side stretch. So bring one hand down onto a surface next to you. You can hold onto the side of the chair or hand onto the bed. And then bring the other hand to rest somewhere on the hip or just to the side of you. We're going to lean over into that first hand, allowing the elbow to bend. Both shoulders drawing away from the ears. So you're squeezing through one side of the body, opening and stretching through the other side. Really good for our internal organs to get this lovely massage, as well as the muscles of the body, contracting, strengthening on one side, opening, lengthening on the other side. If you wanted to here and it's comfortable for you, you could bring the arm into the air and over the head. If that pinches in your shoulder or there's any other discomfort, just bring that back down again. Next time you breathe in, come back to the centre. And rest. Just notice the difference between the two sides of the body. Can you feel which side has had the squeeze, which side has had the length and stretch? Let's balance things out. So bring the other hand down to the surface next to you. That's the one we'll lean into. Other hand can rest on the hip or just on the chair or the bed. And lean over to the second side, keeping the hips steady, the feet on the floor. Notice that squeeze and compression through one side, the length and the opening through the other side. Keep the breath smooth and steady, slow and low. You've got the option to bring the arm over the head, only if that feels completely comfortable and you've got space. Good, last couple of breaths here. Breathe into that open side of the ribs. Next time you inhale, come back to centre and rest. So for this next one, you can stand if you like, stepping one foot in front of the other. Just check you've got room around you, that the floor's clear, that you feel steady enough. If you feel a bit unbalanced, just bring a hand onto the wall. We're coming to a lunge here. Bend the front knee just as far as it feels comfortable and press the back heel down towards the ground. So in the front leg we're strengthening, stabilising. In the back leg you might feel a stretch at the back of your heel, back of your calf, back of your thigh. So this is a really good one to do if you've been sitting down a lot. Opens out that back hip nicely. Or first thing in the morning where your body's been very still. Good, just take 2 more breaths here. Slow, low, steady breath. Great, and then come back to stand. Just take a moment again to notice any difference between the two sides and the two different ways you've worked your lower body, your legs. And then switch to the second side. 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back, front knee bent comfortably, back heel pressing down towards the ground. Do stabilise with a hand if that's helpful. And just notice where you feel the stretch. And breathe slow and low anyway. Even though there is some challenge here, use the breath to keep your system calm. Final 2 breaths. Good, and then slowly come all the way back up to stand, placing your feet about hip distance apart, finding the steadiness here. Balance the weight of the body between both feet evenly. Imagine that invisible string lifting the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. And we're going to finish with a balance. So you could have one hand on the wall if this is new to you or if it helps with steadiness. Then bring one foot in towards the other ankle. Big toe can rest on the ground. This is a great place to stay to practice that balance. Finding your balance down through the standing leg as if you could root that foot down into the ground, standing tall. You could bring the thumb of one hand to the centre of your chest. If you don't need the other hand for balance, that hand can join as well. As you build up the confidence here, you might be able to bring the foot a little bit higher up the leg. Anywhere below the knee is fine. Good. Come out slowly, pointing the knee forwards. Use a hand for steadiness if it's helpful. And then bring that foot down to the ground. Good. And just have a little shake out before you do the second side. And then we'll repeat. Final side, final posture. So draw one foot in towards the ankle, working on the opposite side now. This might be a great place to stay. Or any point you want, you can bring the foot up a little bit higher and experiment with your balance today. One or both hands can come in towards the chest, palm to palm. Stay slow and steady with the breath. So this is a great posture for strengthening the ankles, the knee joints, the leg, the pelvic floor. It's also a great posture to calm and concentrate the mind. We soon know when our attention is wavering and we're thinking about something else because we'll tend to find that the body starts to waver, we fall out of the balance, we lose focus. So just enjoy the final few breaths here in tree posture. And come out slowly with control, bringing the knee forwards and placing that foot back down on the ground. Release the arms down by the sides and just stand for a moment before you go and continue with your day. Just stand and notice the effects that doing this short practice has had. And we'll seal the practice there.